Hey guys, it's Kinderfell, as some of you may know me from the Heavy Metallurgy Discord. I decided to make a YouTube video, my first YouTube video ever. So be prepared for the most awkward shit you've ever seen. I'm gonna try to make this as watchable as possible, but you know, be prepared for some just absolute cringe degeneracy, because that's me. Well, no, but I decided to do the heavy metal 2026 heavy metal tech, uh, and the reasoning for that was because I don't usually. Well, I kind of read some of the questions and just kind of gone through it, and uh, my collection is kind of small. I am still a student, so I don't have that much money, or it's more like I don't want to spend that much money on CDs, so I only buy couple every year. So I don't really have that much to show. But for this set of questions, I thought that I could actually like show some records that I have and kind of discuss it a little bit. Actually, I just thought it would be kind of fun. I am not here to make some views from this because I mean that's just fucking stupid. I just thought it would be fun. I thought about it, and I never done this, and I like to try new things, and just try it. I thought about doing actually starting like a YouTube channel, but I would for future videos I would like to do something more kind of distinct, maybe. But I mean this is just a thought. I don't know if I will actually get to it. It's just something. But I thought this would be fun, so yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Uh, so yeah, uh, I will start with the questions. The first question: Giddy up! 2026 is the year of the fire horse. Show an album with a horse on the cover. Horse-like creatures such as Pegasus are permitted. Why lose some street cred if you show a unicorn? So I don't have any album with an unicorn. If I had, I would absolutely show it because I have to always be the special one. No, but the first that came to mind is Drut, the Swan Road, their third album. Uh, this is kind of a change of pace for them. Uh, the first two albums are more kind of, kind of more atmospheric, hypnotic, transcendental, kind of little like shoegazy, even though that's maybe a bad word for description. But yeah, and this is kind of more on the uh, kind of more epic, more up tempo, a little bit aggressive. But it's I mean it still has that the elements from the first two album that make it Drut. Yeah, but this has some of my favorite songs from Drug are on this Glare of 1768, Fate. I love. It's just epic, cool, folky melodies that they are so good at. The unique riffing style. That's kind of derived from the Ukrainian folklore. And it's just a really cool album. It's one of my favorites from them. They would kind of use this style with the first two albums into Blood in Our Wells. I think that's kind of a combination of this and Autumn Aurora. So yeah, I mean, so this is kind of uh, 1A 1B kind of thing, with this. So I really like it for that reason. It's kind of it's a little bit change of pace for them. So yeah, Drut the Swan Road. Yeah, and it's got a horse on the cover. I mean, that's the point why I'm showing it. So yeah. Next question. Nostalgia. Show an album that you do not think is very good, but you can bring yourself to get rid of it. So, uh, this I think kind of this ties into my gateway into metal. Some of the gateway bands that I grew up on. And that got me into metal. I would say kind of come on with people from my generation. Slipknot. This is their third album. yeah, Slipknot was one of the big bands for me in the beginning, getting into metal. They were kind of the first kind of heavier band that I got into. Although this album in particular is not really that heavy, they start to kind of do something more experimental. Kind of starting to use some different elements in this. And yeah, I haven't listened to Slipknot in like 2 years until the May of last year, where I actually like listened some of the albums, because I wanted to know how it held up. And I was I kind of wish I didn't do it, because yeah, for me Slipknot, it's not really, it doesn't hold up. And this album especially, I mean, this was my actually my second favorite after the debut. And here's the CD and it looks, yeah. So, and it just, I don't know, it's there are still some songs that I enjoy, but for me one of the kind of the things that put me off the most was Corey Taylor's vocals. His screams are good for what they are, but his clean singing, I can't stand anymore. It just, I don't know why, but it's kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. And there are some other elements, kind of, the more rappy kind of, the scratching and stuff, it's kind of unnecessary. I would say that some of the riffs are good, and some of the compositions on here are actually kind of interesting. The songs are, it's not them just doing trying to do some radio hits like with Duality or Before I Forget, which are kind of overplayed anyway. There is some interesting stuff, and not all of it is like horrible, but it just doesn't hold up for me. And that could be said about really most of Slipknot for me. I've listened to the first two albums, and everything, pretty much like every album from them, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't hold up that much for me. And I don't want to get rid of it, because it still has some personal connection to me. And uh, it was a big album for me, and a big band, but it doesn't hold up anymore, but I don't hate it. It just, I don't need to listen to it anymore. So yeah, Slipknot. uh Next question. uh Goat, show your favorite new album released in 2025. So this is where I fail, because I don't have my favorite 2025 album on physical copy, because I'm a poser. No, I just didn't kind of get to it, And, but my favorite album of 2025, I shared the list of my top 20 of 2025 on the Discord, and my favorite was the new Sour album, Amidst the Ruins. Yeah, it was kind of a surprise for me, because I'm not really into that style of black metal, that kind of atmospheric, very folky, But there is something about that album that just connects with me. It's kind of very, it has a kind of a cool like nature vibe. I'll do a lot of just kind of hiking, and just wandering around the forests. I live kind of in the countryside, so it's kind of my thing. And this is really good for that. That captures that kind of that mood for me, and I really loved it. And so the melodies on there are just amazing for me. I really like, kind of love that folky, kind of Celtic stuff. That's something that I really enjoy, and I think they incorporated really well. It's not corny, or kind of it's not too on the nose. It's very well done. I think it's authentic. Some of the melodies actually, like how they are constructed, they remind me of Iron Maiden, which, I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, that was my favorite release of 2025. Yeah, I mean, it's maybe not objectively the best thing that came out of the year, but for me personally, it's the one that connected the most. So that's it. I'm gonna get it one day. So next question from Beyond: show a favorite album that is not a heavy metal album. Yeah, so I could show a bunch of stuff, because my tastes are pretty varied, and I listen to a lot of stuff that's not heavy heavy metal, or just or not even like rock or anything. But this is kind of rock adjacent. Uh, 16 Horsepower. Secret. This is their album Secret South. I think it's their third album. Yeah, this is of course the first. I think it's the first band that David Eugene Edwards was in, and probably his most famous project that he's ever done. Yeah, and this is kind of folky, country Americana, kind of gothic, uh, uh, you know, style. It's really the people describe it as Denver sound, which yeah, I mean, it's kind of yeah makes sense since yeah, I mean, he's from Denver. And it has that kind of cowboy, but that's selling is kind of short. It's not about that. It's not the kind of cowboy shit or anything. There are a lot of cool folk elements, even from like different regions. And different, a lot of different influences. And really really cool. For me, this is the best thing that David Eugene Edwards has ever done. This is just an amazing. The songs are just so very emotional. Very well done. The first song, the Clogger, is amazing. Praying Arm Lane, Splinters, just epic. Yeah, I absolutely love this. I love pretty much everything David Eugene Edwards has ever done. He's just such a unique musician and songwriter, lyricist. Yeah, this is if you are not familiar, he's devoted Christian, but this is kind of he doesn't. It's not implemented in like a forced way. This is not like, I don't know, like a Stripe album where it's just kind of obnoxious. Although that's kind of a bad comparison. I mean, probably better comparison would be some contemporary Christian artists, but I can't remember any right now. uh, so yeah, if you there is not like an obvious hint that this has like Christian themes all over it, but there are like uh, if you dive deeper into the lyrics, or just watch some of his interviews, some stuff like that, and he has a very different and interesting approach to faith. It's not like uh, it's just very interesting. How he thinks about it all and how he incorporates it into the music. So yeah, I mean, probably I'm keep showing the front cover only and not anything else. I need to learn better, but it's my first video. So. Yeah. So 16 Horsepower, amazing band. They actually just got together recently, so that's cool. So yeah. Next question. Uh, the Unknown. Show an album that you can't remember ever hearing someone talk about on YouTube. So I heard somebody talk about on YouTube, but not really that much as I would hope for this band, because I think they do something kind of just not necessarily like super unique, but they do it well, and it's Dreadnought the Endless. This is kind of this plays into that kind of post black metal atmospheric, kind of progressive, kind of shoegazy at times, ethereal, very kind of dynamic, longer compositions. Yeah. This is kind of what I wish Alcest would sound like. And the people compare them to Alcest, and I kind of get it. But for me, this is a lot better than Alcest. I tried with Alcest several times. I mean, it's not for me. Just thought it was kind of boring. Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of in that post black metal style. Very dynamic. They have two female singers on this. One of them does both clean and harsh vocals. One of them does only clean vocals, and yeah, it's very well done for that style. This is not like a, don't expect like cold kind of just raw Norwegian or something like that style death metal. This is just not it at all. This is kind of you know more of the modern kind of style, that some people just don't like that much, but I think it's very well done for this style. And I think the band has really like they put a cool twist on it. It's very well done, very cool melodies, and the songs are well constructed. It's just uh It's done just really well. And yeah, that's like, and I don't really see them mentioned as much. I mean, yeah, people know about them, but I think they should be more recognized because they do a really good job at what they do. So yeah, I saw them live also, and they were amazing. They are amazing live. So if you have a chance to catch them live, definitely do. You know, I think you will be impressed. So next question, number six, front loaded. Show an album whose first song is its best song. So I decided to go with Swallow the Sun, Ghost of Loss. Uh, this for me still stands as the best Swallow the Sun album. I mean, really, they just they capture everything that I love about this style of metal. You know, kind of this depressive death doom. You know, from Finland, which I mean, yeah, just that says it all. You know, and yeah, the first song on this, The Giant, is just it encapsulates everything I love about this band. You know, it starts with that kind of cool melodic arpeggio, you know, very emotive, you know, kind of melancholic, and then it goes into that just super crunchy guitar, you know, and the deep guitars, you know, it's amazing, you know, for me. The guitar tone on this is just amazing. I love it. You know, the production on here is just really cool. Uh, yeah, for me, I mean, this is the peak of the band. You know, I like pretty much all this stuff that I heard. Although I still haven't heard the last album because I heard various things and I wasn't sure if I want to listen to it. So, but I mean, yeah, great catalog, you know, and really some cool albums. But this for me remains as, you know, the best. And for me, the best song on is The Giant, which is probably my favorite song by them. You know, just yes, as I said, yes, everything I love about this style. You know, and it's done really well. So yeah, Swallow the Sun. Next question. Uh, Number seven, Encore. Show an album that you think would be better if it were longer. So I kind of thought about several albums that could be that, but picked Crowbar, Broken Glass. You know, this is like, I don't know, like 38 minutes or something. Uh, I mean, this is probably my third favorite Crowbar album. You know, this is like, you know, just great. You know, sludge. Uh, I mean, legendary band. Everybody knows Crowbar. You know, of course. And for me, the thing with this that kind of that for me kind of puts it down a little bit is I really think there should be one more kind of more the epic song. Like there is the song Nothing, which I just think is amazing. It's more melancholic, kind of longer, kind of more expensive. And I wish there would be one other song like that. If the album ended with a similar song, I think it would maybe be my even number two because I love this. You know, I mean, this is kind of more. This is them leaning a little bit more to the kind of hardcore sound. You know, I always describe this as uh, Black Flag meets Black Sabbath, and this is kind of more on the Black Flag side. You know, shorter songs, more kind of hardcore-ish. You know, it's not like hard, I mean, it's sludge. You know, but it gets that side to it, kind of more. You know, and I just wish there would be one more song like that. You know, but it's still, I mean, a great album. You know, just you know, just the thought that I had. I think it would be the album. The album always felt like it could use one more song like that. It felt a little bit incomplete always when I listen to it. You know? But it's a kind of a nitpick, really. For me, I mean, this is uh, it's Crowbar, so for me, it's the pinnacle of sludge. You know, with yeah. So that's it. Uh, Number eight, fail. Show an album you bought that disappointed you. So this one was kind of hard for me because I don't really blind buy albums. As I said, I don't. I try to be responsible with my finances. So if there is an album I am interested about, I check it out uh, on YouTube or somewhere, and if I like it, I will buy it eventually. So yeah. But this is not a metal album, but this is really the only blind buy that I have, along with one other CD, and this ties into kind of a backstory. So yeah, excuse me. Uh, so this is Porcupine Tree. This is Voyage 44. Uh, Porcupine Tree, one of my favorite bands. I love Porcupine Tree. Just very cool kind of progressive alt rock sounding. Kind of more modern, although they've been on the scene for like 30 years, so they're not that modern anymore. Yeah. But you know, and this kind of when I got into Porcupine Tree, like month into being into Porcupine Tree and being absolutely obsessed with it, I went into a local record store and wanted to get some Porcupine Tree CDs because yeah, I thought they would have some, but they didn't have any. But luckily for me, the owner of the record store is a big Porcupine Tree fan, and he said like, "Yeah, you want to order? I can order some for some CDs for you." So I was like, "Yeah, cool. I would love that." So, uh, but we didn't talk about like any specific. He just said, "Yeah, I will order some," and I thought like, "Yeah, I mean, he will order something." I love pretty much everything I heard, so I mean, yeah, not gonna be disappointed with it. But I haven't heard this one because this is kind of this kind of stands apart from it. I would say, although it's I don't know if it's classified as full length or uh, if it's like an EP or something, but it's kind of it's pretty long, so I wouldn't say it's really an EP or something, but it's uh, anyway. Uh, I got he ordered the Coma Divine Life album, which I love, and he ordered and this came with it. And I've never, as I said, I've never heard this, so I put this on, and I didn't really like I didn't really know like what to expect actually because their style varies, of course, over the years, and this was somewhere kind of in the middle, so I wasn't sure really. And this kind of this is very much in that more ambient style, more kind of atmospheric, as I said, kind of more ambient, hypnotic, psychedelic kind of very long compositions. The first half of this album is kind of more kind of guitar oriented, which I could uh, get on with, but the second side for me was at the time just I thought it was so boring. Now I do like this album now because over the years I got into ambient, and this is kind of and this is very much in the style. So now I like it, but I don't really play it a ton. I've maybe played it like 5 times over the years I have it, and I have it like for I don't know, like maybe 4 years or something. So yeah, or five. Uh, so yeah, Voyage 44. Initially disappointing, but now I do like it now. So number 9, The Return. Show an album you played in 2025 that you had not played in over a year. So kind of an obvious one, Metallica and Justice for All. Yeah, I haven't played it in this in a while. Uh, just because yeah, Metallica also one of my gateways into metal. When I've played them a ton, and I just it's I still love Metallica. I still love the first four albums. I Black Album I can. I mean, I'd have nothing against it except some of the songs are just overplayed. But I mean, it's still a good album. Like, I have nothing against it. It's more of a kind of radio rock album. But I mean, it, I don't have anything against it in particular. So yeah, but this for me, this is pretty much like the pinnacle. This was the first Metallica album I ever heard, and uh, yeah, and it's probably still my favorite. Although kind of it sometimes Master of Puppets kind of overtakes. But I still I mean for me I love this even despite the famous production, and I play bass, and so it's kind of weird that I actually don't mind the production, but it's very suffocating. It's kind of claustrophobic, and I like it because of that. It's different. And yeah, I mean, this is them at their, of course, the most technical, kind of most, just uh, adv- or not really adventures, but yeah, I mean, the longest compositions on this kind of, yeah, more technical, just more, yeah. So yeah, and I lost my train of thought. No, yeah, I haven't played this, where I've put this on few months ago, and I mean, yeah, super enjoyable. But I just don't play Metallica a ton because I've listened to them so much. I don't need to hear them all the time. I play them once in a while and I love it, and then I put them away and I don't listen to them like for like a year, easily. So yeah. Uh, Next question. Number 10, Joker. Show an album with a hilarious cover art. I have went with an easy one. Black Sabbath Sabotage. I mean, this is the epitome of 70s fashion. Like, I mean, you look at this and this is just, yeah, I mean, this is so so indicative of the era, and I know this story is they wanted to do something. The cover was supposed to look a little different, but I don't know, the outfits are so ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how they could like save that, with like, I don't know, a different angle or something. I don't know what was the thought behind this. The you know the just I don't know. Looking at this always makes me laugh. It's just the Billboard's outfit. The I can't remember how it's called. This, uh, but yeah, I mean, he got this. I think this is his wife's. And he's just, I know, it's so ridiculous. I mean, but the album is, I love it. It's probably my second favorite Savage album. So yeah. Okay. Number 11, Yearning. Name a potential album release you are anxiously awaiting in 2026. So, I mean, there's a lot of obvious ones that we are waiting for. I mean, Immolation just dropped a new single a few days ago. Sounds absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's Immolation, so it's gonna be great. New Megadeth, I'm kind of excited, although I'm, kind of on the fence. The first single was good, but uh, the Dave's vocals start kind of, they don't, even in the studio they start to kind of falter, and I haven't even heard, the other two singles. So yeah, but the most exciting for me, that's definitely coming out, I would say, this year is the new Malo Karpatan. uh, uh if you follow Adam on Instagram, he recently posted, or I mean, like, maybe 2 months ago, he posted some pictures that they are in the studio recording, or that they are pretty much done recording, I think. So yeah, new Malokarpatan album, and I mean, last Malokarpatan was amazing. I would say one of the best metal releases in recent years, and just yeah, very excited for it, and very interested in where they are gonna go with with their sound. So yeah. Next question, number 12. Collector's scum. In your collection, is there a pesky gap in a band's discography that you are hoping to fill? So there actually is, even for how small my collection is, there actually is one band that I am only missing one CD from, and it's Typo Negative. And this is the Roadrunner box set. It's just kind of simple, it just has the sleeves, these, and it's they everything they release on Roadrunner, so including the original pieces. Every studio album is on there, except that again, the last one, which was released, I think, on SPV originally, and they didn't reissue it. They kind of just didn't do anything with it. And but a couple years ago, Nuclear Blast, I think, bought the rights and they reissued it. And since then, I kind of wanted to get it, but I didn't get it because, yeah, as I said, I don't buy CDs that often, and just didn't get to it. So uh, yeah, that's the last one I'm missing, and which is weird. It's one of my favorites. I love that album, and for me, it's like one of the best from that discography. So yeah, that's the only one I'm missing that I will eventually get. Yeah. So next question. Uh, Number 14, Evolution. Talk about a band or album that you think is successfully moving its respective genre forward creatively. So, I mean, there's a lot of bands that I could mention that would maybe be better suited for, but I don't have physical copy of it, so I try to found something that I have physical copy that I think could fit this question, and uh, I picked Mutoid Man. And maybe this is not people's first choice, but I really think this band does something different while doing something kind of classic in a way. I don't really even know how to describe this. It's the kind of like post-hardcore, sludgy, kind of stoner rockish. I mean, this is kind of a super group because it's got of course Steven Brodsky from Cave In, and Old Man Gloom. Yeah, some lot of bands that he's been over the years. I think he was in Converge also. Ben Collar is on this, of course, and Jeff Metz from High on Fire. So this is kind of this is pretty much a super group. And yeah, but they do something really interesting, I think, with it's kind of a blend of different styles also, but the way they approach it and the way they kind of make it their own is something that nobody really sounds like this band, I think. It's the way Steven Brodsky, for me, he's one of the best songwriters, I think, in the recent years. I mean, the last Kevin album was just mind blowing for me. I still am in awe of that album, and this really is not far behind. For me, this like the songs on this. For me, the songwriting is what is the biggest strength of this, because this is kind of in a way it's the musical elements on this are kind of conventional, but the way they kind of they put an interesting twist on it. There is a melody that's if you played it on like a clean signal, it would sound like the most boring melody you've ever heard. But he puts interesting effects, different kind of things on it that make it unique, and stand out. And this album really has like even a pop hooks, like Call of the Void, the first song on this. The chorus is kind of poppy, but the way they play it, it's different. It's kind of it sounds interesting, and nothing really like uh, really their own. And I really find this band, kind of they stand on their own. They don't try to sound like anyone else, and just do what they want to do, and with the approach they have. It just for me, it's a band that kind of does something that you've maybe heard before, but they do it in a way that hasn't been done before. If that makes sense. But yeah, very very just, I mean, amazing album. One of my favorites from 2023. uh if the description that if my description of this album kind of caught your attention, definitely give this a listen. uh don't think of this as like if Kevin is a name that puts you off because it's kind of metalcore-ish, even though they are more like metallic hardcore. There is no like this is not like a metalcore album at all, or even metallic hardcore. There's a few elements, few songs that are kind of that call back to it, but really this is kind of really its own thing, and I really love it. So yeah. Next question, 14. Told you so. Show an album or albums that someone recommended to you that impressed you enough to purchase it. So I kind of you know my recommendations. I don't have like many people or like friends that are into metal, so like in person recommendations or something like that is not really a thing for me. So most of my recommendations that I got are from the internet or from other channels that I watch. So yeah, and this was one of them. This is Job for a Cowboy. So yeah, I might lose some street cred for showing this, but let me explain. So Trolls of Metal review this. I mean, I would say pretty much everybody in the community is familiar with Trolls of Metal. I've been watching them for a long time, and just one of the most important channels for me getting into metal, more deeper into it, more into the underground, and and this is not like a super underground band, of course, but they reviewed this, and I've heard of the band before, but I kind of passed on them because of the name and because they have kind of a bad reputation for some reason, which I really don't get after listening to this because yeah, they've been associated with deathcore and stuff like that, and yeah, the first EP is dead, but really after that they've really more into like technical death metal, and this is a very interesting album. It's technical death metal, but it's kind of have has this like psychedelic themes to it and overtones and elements, and they really do a good job at that style. I'm not really even into like technical death metal that much, but this album I think does it well. And if I'm in the mood for this kind of stuff, I mean, this really scratches the itch, and it's really really well done. So yeah, and after Trolls of Metal reviewed this and they praised this, and I was like, okay, I will check this out. And I checked this out. I was like, oh shit, this is like actually really good. I was surprised. Yeah, the name is kind of dumb. I mean, I think even the band is not like super excited about it. But I mean, it's stuck, and I think they do. This is kind of their return album. They did after like 10 years, I think. The previous one, Sun Eater, I also thought was really good. Kind of they go kind of well together. I mean, this is supposed to be kind of a continuation, even with the themes and stuff like that. So yeah, really really good album, good band. For how bad their reputation seems to be among some people, they really are very good. So yeah. Next question. Number 15, King Cheese. Recommend a power metal album to Marty Warren that you think is exceptional. He is always on the hunt. So, as some of you may know, I'm not really into power metal, or I should say, I wasn't really into power metal. That changed kind of recently as I mean, people on the Discord are probably familiar with my journey. If not, you know, you can go there and check yourself how I got into power metal. So I don't really have any like recommendations, but I mean, I have one album that's potentially, even though I think Marty already at least heard of it, but and it's not really like a full-on power metal album. It's more kind of speed metal, but it has some power metalish elements to it. And excuse me, the new Star Force album, Beyond the Eternal Light, I think it's called. Uh, Tumbles from the Discord was just gushing about it one. It was his number one of the year, and I checked it out, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I kind of wish I checked it out earlier because if I think it would be higher in my. It got into my top 20, but I think it would be definitely in my top 10 if I had listened to it earlier. But it's a great album. If you haven't still checked it out, Marty, I think it's definitely. I would say it's definitely for you. It's maybe a little bit too long, but not. It's there is not a song that I would like uh, you know discard or something. It's really solid stuff. Really well done. So yeah. Number 16. uh, 2 minutes to midnight. What is the last album you bought in 2025? So this is actually the only 2025 release I bought. Yeah, I'm fucking poser, but I mean that comes with me. The new Coroner album. Yeah, I was doing some last minute Christmas shopping and stopped by a record store, and they had this for a good price. I saw it online and it was kind of expensive for some reason, but there they had it for a better price. So I said, yeah, I mean, I will buy it because I mean I enjoy it a lot. It's not some people kind of overhype this. I think, like, it's not a masterpiece. I still think there is some stuff on it. This I mean, it's not a perfect album. It got some problems, but uh it's I mean, even for that, it's really really good still. The you know the second side, kind of, there are like Transparent Eye and Trinity. These two songs, I feel like kind of filler. That section of the album doesn't do much for me, but the rest of it is great, and I uh, really like it. It's you can tell they pick up picked up some modern metal influences over the years, but they integrated it, I think, well into their sound. And yeah, this is not like if you expect Punishment for Decadence or or normal No More Color. This is absolutely not it. You will not like this. But if you like, the kind of Mental Vortex, I think this is kind of a continuation, more modern spin on Mental Vortex. I think you will definitely enjoy this if you still haven't checked it out. But I think you did, because I mean this album kind of probably got is the most talk about it, at least in the second half of the year. I mean, so yeah, very good. Not perfect, but a good comeback album. Definitely, I mean, it made it into my top 20. So yeah. Okay, next question. Number 17, Brain Drain. When feeling musical burnout, what is a nostalgic album that always makes you excited about music again? So I went with an easy one, and this again, not really a metal album. Yeah, I mean, we could say this is. I mean, this is kind of rock album. Yeah, but my favorite band of all time. I mentioned it a couple times on Discord. Nine Inch Nails. And I've picked kind of a less obvious one. Obviously, I could go with Downward Spiral or The Fragile, which is my favorite album of all time. But this is very much a comfort listen. For me, these songs are just kind of, it's easy to listen to. It's not as kind of dense and not as depressive and just kind of in your face. It's more kind of introspective and less aggressive and more kind of emotional, just more melancholic, kind of more softer side of Trent. And this is after his kind of after he got out of his addiction, and kind of revived the band. He was kind of dormant for a few years. And this is very much like coming back, not only with Nine Inch Nails, but into a normal life, and trying to kind of just get things going again for him, like you know just living a normal life, which is, I mean, it's kind of I've always found it really cool and kind of relatable in a way, when you are just burnout in general, or just you are stressed on, or just you have a lot of going on, and this is kind of just put this on and relax, and just uh, take a deep breath, and yeah. And for me, this album is, I mean, some of my favorite all-time favorite songs are on this album. Every Day Is Exactly the Same, Sunspots, The Line Begins to Blur. Yeah, I mean, not much to say. Just you know it's a big favorite, personal favorite of mine. So yeah. uh Number 18, There Is Waldo. Show a classic or old album that you somehow overlooked for many years that you loved as soon as you heard it. So this could apply to this band in general. Wasp. Backstory to this is, last year I attended a festival in Vienna Metal Meeting, and I mainly went there for Opeth, Hypocrisy, and Anal Natrak played there. So those were the main attractions. And was got announced, I think, like I was already decided I wanted to go there, and it was like, and I was like 2 months before the date of the festival, and so I was like, oh, I've never actually heard any was pretty much, and I was like, they are associated and put into the glam category, but really after listening to them, that's not true at all. And even I mean, this is probably the like more, or I mean, yeah, this the first the two albums after are maybe more glamish. The second one maybe is the most, but I mean, they are still like not glam pretty much at all. Just kind of they're more like heavy metal, just heavy metal. And I've never actually listened to them, and I heard a few people describe them, as more heavier, kind of, just more gritty. Uh, and real, I mean, there is even, I mean, on the Discord there is a couple big Wasp fans, so I was like, yeah, I mean, I will check this out, and I checked this album out, and I was blown away. I absolutely loved it instantly. For me, just amazing kind of, testosterone induced 80s heavy metal. So, and I since then I've checked the first five, everything up until Crimson Idol, and I love it, love most of it. And for me, my favorite actually, Headless Children, and listened to that album like almost daily since I first heard it. For me, that's like I love it to death. That's like I absolutely just was mind blown how uh good that album was. But I mean, this is nostalgia. I got this for Christmas because yeah, uh I wanted to have this one first. I know it's the debut, and I thought like, yeah, it's the more classic one. I should have it. So I mean, I will get Headless Children eventually also. So yeah, but yeah, that's for this question. uh Number 19. Hello, my name is. Was there a video or stream that you participated in during 2025 that you are especially proud of? Include a link in the description. So obviously there is none because I don't use videos. So yeah, I mean, what else can I say? So skipping this one pretty much. uh, Number 20. Into Glory Ride. Name a band that you want to see release one more great album before they retire. So this one, I mean, pretty obvious would be Maiden, and I think everybody mentioned them, yeah, and I agree. Although I do like Senjutsu, probably more than most people, yeah, but I mean, Iron Maiden is the obvious question, but I'm actually going with Ebigor on this one. Of course, Peter Kubik sadly passed away, I think in 2023, and they released an album. I think after that, although I mean it was already like recorded and everything, but I think there is one more album, I think, that's pretty much done. So and maybe I'm uh, wrong on that, but I think there is one, and I think there were some talks that it will eventually get released. So I would like to see it because the last one I thought was really good. I'm not as familiar with kind of the middle of their discography, when they were kind of more avant-garde, technical, kind of. I heard some of it. It sounded like uh, kind of like Despel Omega, maybe a little bit in that way, kind of very dark and kind of angular. But this one was I thought was really good. The kind of the last one, they came back with some of the melodies of the earlier albums, and it was overall kind of a, and they went back to their roots a little bit, maybe. Excuse me. So yeah, so I would like to see one more because I think there is one, and I would really like to hear that and see how. I think it will. I think it's. If anything, it will be at least as good as the last one. And I think that after that, I don't know if they will continue, but if they don't, I wouldn't be mad at all. I think if the last one album is anything, if the unreleased is anything like the last one, I think it will be, a fitting end to their career, which was definitely, you know, uh, very influential and amazing, especially in the early years. And they've developed, into other styles and stuff like that. Just so yeah, Abigor for me. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I hope you didn't suffer too much, and I mean, if you did, you probably already turned it off. So yeah. uh, but if you watched till the end, thank you very much. I mean, yeah, this is great. And thank you to Alan Marty for putting this set of questions, uh, or for coming up with this set of questions. Uh, they always do, I mean, a cool job. They've been doing it for a few years now. Always very cool questions. And yeah, if you are from somewhere else than from the heavy metallurgy Discord, go check out the heavy metallurgy Discord. It's very cool people around there, cool community. Uh, you will find me there also. So if you find my personality so fascinating, you want to talk to me, which I don't think there is anyone. But so I don't know even why I'm saying this shit. I should probably end this because yeah, I'm already, yeah, just rambling. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and maybe see you next time on here. Maybe I will do something else again. I don't know. So yeah, thanks very much and bye.